have to say I make a mean guacamole. I'll show you how. So take 4 ripe Hass avocados. Those are the ones that are brown on the outside when they're ripe. Cut each one in half. And then I use a knife just to get the seed out. Be careful you don't get your hand. Usually guacamole is a puree of avocados that doesn't have a lot of flavor. I think it's gotta have great flavor and really chunky texture. These are perfectly ripe. You want them so they're bright green. If they're too ripe, they turn brown inside. It's not good. Then immediately add 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice just to stop the avocado from browning. There are all these theories about how to keep guacamole from turning brown, but forget them all. It's really simple. Fresh lemon juice. 1 lemon should do it. 8 dashes of Tabasco sauce, which gives guacamole a really spicy kick. I like it really spicy. You can decide how hot you want yours. Half a cup of small diced red onion. And a minced clove of garlic. Then a teaspoon of kosher salt. About the same with black pepper. And just toss everything together. Then, using a sharp knife, slice through the avocados until they're finely diced. This is the secret to really good guacamole. It mixes all the ingredients together and it stays really chunky this way. Finally, add a medium tomato that's been seeded and small diced. It's seeded, so it doesn't make the guacamole watery. I put the tomatoes in last because I don't want them to change the color of the guacamole. Toss everything together and you've got great, easy guacamole.
Demonstration is basically a show and tell activity where you teach something by first doing it yourself and then giving the participants a chance to try it out. Also, demonstration, when done so effectively, demonstration can be used to provide students with the opportunity to gain accurate information, correct previous misinformation, and, depending on the goals of a lesson, to practice skills to the points where they can be used with little or no mental effort. Demonstration is a fairly easy education method. As the educator, you should know how to perform the task, so it should be easy for you to perform the task in front of your students. Also, when it comes to demonstration, the time required can vary depending on the task. Ideally, you should schedule enough time to perform the task in front of your students twice, and the time to observe performing them once. You should also build in time to give them feedback. At a minimum, you need to have enough time for you to complete the task while your students follow along step by step. Demonstration requires a lot of interaction from both the teacher and the students. Since this is a hands-on type of teaching strategy, all participants must fully engage with the material. It will also require students to speak up and ask questions or for clarification since they are actively performing the task. Demonstration should state the activity involved and indicate its purpose and/or outcome, arouse and maintain students' interest, reveal the main steps of the activity and identify the likely problem areas, inspire confidence in the students so that they will be willing to try themselves, and be so timed that students can undertake individual practice afterwards and receive feedback about their performance. It's important to explain to students the purpose or outcome of the demonstration, such as how to correctly apply a condom in a sexual health course, or in our case, how to make a flavorful guacamole. Make sure you go through the process step by step. You may need to break down a step into a few smaller steps because it may be second nature to you, but your students may be a bit challenged by it. You also may want to acknowledge potential problem areas, as well as address them, much like Ina did when she pointed out that avocados can become brown if they're too ripe. If you're performing the task first, make sure you walk around while the students are trying it. offering them constructive feedback and encouragement. You also need to make sure that you have all the materials necessary for the entire class to try it. Getting condoms and bananas for a class is a lot easier than getting the ingredients to make 25 dishes of guacamole. In this case, you may want to have the students work together in groups. Students of all ages love to be engaged and learn much better when they're actively involved in the learning process. Demonstrations are about as hands-on as you can get when it comes to learning. Demonstrations can also make business-heavy material fun. Depending on the activity, the time needed for demonstration can vary. This means that you can use demonstration to your advantage and fill any time slot. If the session is only 30 minutes, make guacamole. If your session is 90 minutes, make an entire Tex-Mex meal. However, once again, depending on the activity, it can be costly to obtain all the materials for the students and the teacher to participate in the task. It's necessary to have all the materials though, so if you're doing a demonstration, you can't cut back in that area. Demonstration can also be used in the virtual classroom, which presents its own benefits and challenges. Obviously, using demonstration in a virtual classroom results in a loss of hands-on interaction. However, this can be reconciled by having the student record themselves performing the task and submit it as an assignment. However, one of the benefits of demonstration in an online environment is the advantage of time. Unlike in an in-person session, the student will have the time to engage with any other online resources, especially if the instructor has provided them, and then gives them time to reflect to make sure that they really understand the process. Bye everyone, thanks for listening, but I've guac to go.